I know you hear this all the time. Messaging is really important. It's what differentiates you. But maybe you sat down to try and create some content for your website or to create an email or a lead generator or a landing page of some sort, and you think, I'm an accountant. I have no idea what to say. Well, let me help you with that. Today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about brand messaging, and I'm going to show you how to create a brand messaging playbook that will make it really easy for you to be able to do those types of things, whether it's coming up with an email to a prospect or creating a blog post or social media post. I'm going to show you how a brand messaging playbook can be created and how it can be used to make your life a heck of a lot easier, especially if you're a bookkeeper or an accountant. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to use a tool that we have to demonstrate this to you in the background, but I want you to know you can do this manually. This video is not a sales pitch. So let's talk about a brand playbook first. What's in it? All right, so let's look at a couple of the key components. So what you're looking at on my screen is a tool we have called Hey Kajabra. Again, you don't have to use Hey Kajabra, but I'm going to use it just because it looks really nice and really pretty to be able to show you the key elements of a brand playbook. So let's talk about what's in a brand playbook. You're going to have a brand narrative, you're going to have an elevator pitch, and let's start there. I've actually created a sample accounting firm. I know, really original name. And I have an elevator pitch. So why do you really need an elevator pitch if you're not a salesperson? You need it so that when somebody is meeting you for the first time, say at a lunch or a networking event or a golf outing or over the family gathering weekend, whatever it is, and they say, hey, what do you do? That these words don't come out of your mouth. Oh, I'm a bookkeeper. I'm an accountant. That tells them nothing. That does not show the value that you bring. And you are an expert who brings small businesses a lot of value. So an elevator pitch is something that should be created and it lasts 30 seconds. It needs to be very natural, come off your tongue very naturally, starting with a problem and then presenting what your solution is and the results that you get. Moving on down, once you've got your elevator pitch, the most important piece of creating your brand messaging is identifying who that ideal client is. And if you've heard me speak on this before, this is where it all starts. You've got to determine who's my customer avatar. And whether you're trying to get new clients or whether you have more clients and you know what to do with, it's important because even if you have more clients and you know what to do with, I guarantee that if that perfect, profitable, easy, wonderful client walked through the door that you enjoy working with, you would rather replace a couple other clients that aren't as perfect with this one. So the first thing is to create your customer avatar. And then you want to really dig into that customer avatar's pain points. You want to understand, what do they fear? What things weigh on their shoulders every day? What keeps them from excelling in their business? And then what's your solution to that? How can you fix that? Because once you've really dug into who your client avatar is and you understand their pain and their fear and what they want that has nothing to do with their pain, then you can begin to formulate your messaging around what their problems are and present your solution that way. Something else that's very important is that you have to have a little bit of messaging that shows what the stakes are. People need to understand what the consequences are of not using you. Otherwise, if you're not agitating the pain, why would someone want to do business? And then you need to create value propositions. Value propositions are what's really unique about you. What do you do better than all of your competitions? What's one thing that you do better than anyone else? Or two things or three things. A value proposition doesn't have to just be packaged into one statement. It can be a few different value propositions for areas of your business. Taglines are important. They can be very important when it comes to websites, landing pages, business cards. I am kind of indifferent to taglines, so those aren't necessarily something that I am find to be very important in a playbook, but value propositions, absolutely. And then, of course, in your brand messaging playbook, you want to be able to um, you want to be able to explain why you've chosen the colors that you chose for your brand identity. And it's more than just, I liked those colors. What do those colors tell a visitor to your website, as an example, or someone who's looking at an email with your logo and those colors? You want to be able to really communicate more behind those colors than just, I liked them. Okay. So what do you do with a brand playbook? I'm going to show you. Again, I'm using my tool called Hey Kajabra to show you just because it's pretty and easy, but let me just move this. Actually, I'm going to make my camera a little smaller. There we go. Okay, so once you've got your brand messaging playbook, you can take that and upload that into any AI content creator of your choice, whether it's Chat, Gemini, Claude, you name it. Again, I'm using Hey Kajabra here. So, what can you do with it? You can create all of your marketing content, and that brand messaging playbook will allow the AI content generator to create content that is specific to you. Now, if you enjoy writing your own blog posts and video scripts and things like that, absolutely you can do that. But to make it a little faster, I like to use AI just as a brainstorming buddy. And then I go in and I put my own editing touches on it. So, certain types of content that are really handy for your brand playbook would be things like video scripts, blog posts, social media posts. What if you could take that brand messaging playbook and go create a month's worth of social media posts in 15 minutes? How awesome would that be? You can email replies, follow ups. When you get stuck on anything, if you have to do a presentation to a networking group, use the brand playbook to help guide the content in that presentation. And then, of course, you can do other things like if you're wanting to get a little fancy and create sales pages and sales headlines and ad copy, even lead magnets. And lead magnets are things like, I don't really love that term because not everyone understands what it is. So let me explain. A lead magnet is a high value piece of content like a checklist or an ebook or a downloadable guide that someone would go to your website or landing page and find, and then they would have to give you their email address or their cell phone number and or in order to download that. So at the end of the day, your brand messaging playbook is something that will guide and accelerate the creation of all the content across all of your marketing collateral and make it really, really easy. It will be consistent, it will be fast, it will be easy. So I would like to know from you, what is your number one problem you have when creating your brand messaging? And let me see if I can help.